Warning. This program contains strong language, auditory violence, and mental nudity. It is intended only for mature audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome to your uncensored home for World of Warcraft news and opinions. With your host, Berzerker, this is Unshackled Fury.
The new year is officially upon us. The view ahead is looking so damn good. And today, we are live on Twitch. I don't know how this happened, but we're here, and I'm doing it. And I don't know, this could be the biggest mistake we've ever made in the history of the show, but god damn it, we're gonna do it anyway. So, welcome back to your uncensored home for World of Warcraft news and opinions, Unshackled Fury. I'm your host, Berzerker. This is episode 120. 120. God, that's a lot of shows. And on today's show, we're discussing the outstanding 2023 World of Warcraft roadmap that was put out by Blizzard, how all signs are pointing to a very familiar BlizzCon weekend, and the legacy of Leroy Jenkins is alive and well, and the passing of a true Warcraft legend. But first, like I said, we are here. We are live on Twitch. There's actually like 3 or 4 people in the chat. I'm very thankful that all of you are here. We are delayed in doing this. I wanted to do this a couple of weeks ago, but unfortunately, Mother Nature had other plans. Power was knocked out. Internet was out for a week. So while we were delayed, they're undeterred. So this is still going to happen one way or another. One of the things I talked about with this show is that I wanted to try to change things up a little bit, maybe do things a little bit different in 2023. And one of those things being doing a live show and coming on here, not, all the time, but being able to come on here maybe once a quarter, something like that. Maybe to come on and do some show when it's really important, when something's happened, breaking news, or like, oh shit, we gotta get out there, we gotta do it right now. Oh yeah, by the way, this is like I said in the beginning, it's an uncensored show. Sorry, there is cursing, so if you come here for the Care Bear stare, it's gonna be a different kind of show. So it is a live show. I've never done this before. I have no idea what's gonna go on. I'm sure there's gonna be some catastrophic cattywampus fuck ups or something, but that's what we do. We're gonna do it. So, couldn't do it alone though. There's no way that I could be allowed to be here alone by myself. So I do have a guest. She is one half of the fabulous Live, Laugh, Lore podcast, along with Dungeon Fables, which dives into all of your favorite dungeons and maybe some of your unfavorite dungeons. I don't know. Maybe you don't like them, but she's gonna talk about them anyway and tell you all about them. She is also part of our D&D group over at Jin's Joints, over with our buddy Jin, and she is a friend to you and me. Welcome to the show, Allie. Thank you for being here.
Hello.
Welcome back to Unshackled Fury.
I'm so excited to be back. When you asked me, I was ready to mod for you before, and I was like, "Ooh, yes, I'll be on. Thank you."
That was your first mistake.
No, that was my best choice ever. I know what I'm getting into. Not a mistake.
I don't even know what I'm getting into.
Shenanigans is the correct answer.
Shenanigans. Well,
yes.
Appreciate you being here. And like I said, this is the live stream. We're doing the live stream. This will also still be a podcast. So my apologies to the usual podcast listeners. I've already fucked up and forgot to press record on Audacity when we first fired up. I did get it in mid-intro song, so maybe I can finagle that a little bit in the editing.
Edit that easily.
Yeah, I'll edit that out later. But this will still be a regular podcast, so my apologies to the regular podcast audience if this one sounds a little weird, if this one's a little different. That's But that's how we're going to do it. So going to try to do as much of a regular show as possible, a regular podcast as possible, similar formats, those kinds of things. But I also do want to say, because we are here, I do want to say hello to the chat room. There's at least 5 people. There might even be 10 people.
It's a good chat. They're
right now.
active. It's an active chat.
Yeah, I'm actually a little surprised by that. One person I do want to point out is I always talk about on the show, the homie Rommel. He is in the chat tonight, and my brother, I appreciate you being here. He's like the mystery man in the dark. If you ever see me at a BlizzCon, there's a very good chance you're going to see a very tall, very handsome gentleman walking around with me, and that is not my well, he is kind of my personal bodyguard, but that's my buddy Rommel, and appreciate. Yeah, you wouldn't miss it. I know you wouldn't. That's why you're the man. A few others I see here. I know Nav, brother Navo's here. He made it. He had to come screaming in from work. So while we couldn't get him on the stream today, he will be on an episode in the near future. Because Nav and I, we got a lot to talk about. I see some folks from my raid team. Looks like my raid leader is here, so I'm gonna be about as behaved here as I behaved in the raid, which is not very well behaved.
That sounds about right.
So apologies to the folks there, but thank you to all for coming, for showing up to whatever this is, and I hope to bring you a little bit of something. Hopefully, we can bring you a little something fun tonight, especially if you're a Jag fan, because the Chiefs are putting the fucking smackdown on Jacksonville right now. So you have no excuse to be watching that game anymore. You might as well just come on here. So I think with all that said, it's time for a rage segment. Time for a live one. Fuck it. We'll do it live. Just like the man said. So what do you say we get into it?
Yeah.
Let's rage.
So this is probably going to be an obvious one, because we're here and we're doing this Twitch thing, and I have watched not a lot of streams, but I've seen a few, and there's a lot of people out there that do this. And listen, this might not be the nicest thing to say, but I've seen some people out here, not exactly the most withered individuals, maybe perhaps not the sharpest knife in the block, maybe not the brightest bulb in a room, but somehow they're on this thing. They're doing this Twitch thing. They got the stream going. They got the stuff happening, and hell, they probably got more viewers and followers than I'll ever see in any format combined. So I have to say, it is unusually frustrating to see how fucking complicated it is to put a stream together. I have FaceTimed, plenty on my phone. I've done other things over the years with video, and I'm thinking, we just plug a few buttons in, boom, 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 we're gonna go. Hell no. We have to first log into the accounts. We got the whole thing with the Twitch going on, and then, well, we can't just be on Twitch. We got to do a thing. Okay, so we got the OBS thing. All right, we're gonna do the OBS thing that goes into that. So then we feed all of our mics. Okay, well, which mics? Well, now we have a mixer board. Well, which things go on the mixer board? There's the mic, there's your mic, there's the system stuff, there's the music, there's whatever other samples we got going on. We got to figure out which ways all of that stuff goes. And then you and I are talking via Discord. So then I got to figure out which thing is going into the Discord, which thing is coming out of the Discord, because that thing has to go then into this board and then out to this thing. And I'm watching a level here on the OBS because I got to make sure we're not blowing anybody out. It is unbelievably complicated. Not only that, but you see this thing right here where it says like Unshackled Fury, and it's got our stuff all down. I had to make all that, right? I had to make all that. And there's some other screens you're going to see, and I think I did a pretty good job for a first timer. But you got to put all that together, and then we got to fit the boxes. And Allie and I were just doing this before the show. I literally just had to make her box with her stuff right there, right before we started, right? I cannot believe how complicated this is. Now, maybe that says a lot about my age and my aptitude and everything else, and I'm willing to own that. But it was a lot. And in prepping for this,
it's a lot when you're first prepping, getting ready and stuff. But usually, once you're done, then you're pretty well set up, unless you want to make changes.
Well, now you're talking sense. And this isn't the time for sense. We're going to get to the sense.
Sorry, I'll take my sense away.
Then to prep for this, right? I'm watching a bunch of YouTube videos because I'm staying up till 2 a.m. and I'm going, well, I'm not going to watch barbecue videos because I watched all the barbecue videos I think I possibly could have watched on YouTube. So now I got to watch things about Twitch and how does the Twitch work. And then you get these people coming on here, people I've never heard of that have like 10 million followers or listeners or watchers or whatever. And they come on here and they're like, oh, you don't need any equipment. You don't need any gear. You can just use any old piece of shit thing you got around the house. It's easy. Bullshit. They're coming on here and they've got like the nice video and the fancy stuff and all the stuff in the background. Like their background's all lit and looking fancy and the whole thing. Look, I put some stuff up back here. There's a shield on the wall back there.
You got a good setup. You do.
Right? This is just my regular office. But holy smokes, none of that was helpful. None of that was helpful because none of it was realistic. And so here we are, put all this stuff together, and I cannot believe how long it took. And so, Allie, how do you do this? How have you been able to do this on a regular basis? Am I just missing like some part in here that says, okay, bro, this is how you put all this together? Or like you say, is this just newbie jitters?
I think it's just newbie jitters.
Okay.
I know I did pretty much the same thing when I was staying at my stream, just a very regular, like watching all the YouTube videos and staying up way too many nights, getting all laid out and done and stuff. But here's my personal trick for my own brain.
Okay.
That's why I tell everyone first off, I'm not trying to do a show on my stream. I'm just hanging out. So you made it more complicated by doing your actual show on the stream. So you made it harder for yourself, but that just means you're more epic. It's fine. But for me, I call it a chill stream. So people don't expect all the fancy glamour and stuff. I'm just chilling. It's not going to be a perfect stream because I don't have that energy and capability to make it really fancy.
See, now you're talking sense. There's the sense.
I'm sorry. I brought the sense back. I'm sorry.
You brought the sense back.
Everyone just knows we're just chilling and it's all good. So they're not going to expect
we're just chilling.
Fancy schmancy. Allie doesn't do fancy very well.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, I think that's just the bane of my existence. Like I just make things more complicated than they need to be. You're probably right. That is what I do.
To bring the sense back again, you did it and you're here. You got it all worked out.
I mean, I see people on here, so it does look like it's live, and there is something happening. And you can see my, it's why I have a face for radio, folks. This is why I've been doing a podcast this whole time. But now you can see my dumb face live and in person.
It's not a dumb face.
And there they all. Tall, handsome people frighten me. I like that comment. You should see Rommel in person. He's like he hates it when I do this. It's like if like a Greek god walked into the room. It's unbelievable. Like I'm 6'1" and I'm vastly overweight, but like I'm a big dude. I think on average, like I'm a big guy. I look like a child next to him. And yes, he is intimidating, but yeah. Once you get to know him, that's how it is, right? Once you get to know people.
Exactly.
And yeah, Shanty, you're right. The secret is only having one person, but then
that does make it a lot easier too.
But then the whole screen is me, and then that doesn't work. You don't want that. You already saw that. We can't have that. And then you don't want to watch me play either. You can ask my raid leader about that because he's here or he was here. Nobody needs to see that bottom of the DPS chart fail. So
see, for me, I can't stream while I'm doing dungeons and raids because while I'm getting like intense moments, I'll slowly start leaning forward toward my monitor closer and closer, which would put the mic like right in my mouth and like my head at a horrible spot for the camera. And I'm not paying attention to chat at all. So that's just,
it's distracting.
I don't know how people do that. Yeah, exactly.
There's so much shit on here. Oh goodness. All right. Well, I think I've raised enough about the difficulty of this. And yes, I hope you're right. Perhaps as time goes on, this will become easier. And maybe the next, I don't know, what is it, January? So maybe the next show will be April? I don't know. We're gonna talk about this timeline here, this 2023 roadmap. And I think maybe that'll help decide some of this. So enough of this rage. Let's jump into our news. Let's see what we got next. I swear every episode I'm gonna get rid of that sounder. But like now
are you though?
I'm like married to it now. I don't think I can ever get rid of it. It's like, that's the news. That's the news.
That's how we know we're here. You need it.
Yeah, see, here we go. Here's my raid leader talking shit. I'd be very interested to see how you manage to do less DPS than I think. Well, it's because DKs are OP, bro. You and I both know that. Plus
DKs are pretty OP. When a DK knows what they're doing,
plus
yeah, they can.
Plus my gear is fucking terrible.
It's ridiculous.
We all know that. And I'm not that good. And you guys carry me, and that's what I love about you. So listen, one of the big pieces of news that dropped after I did the last episode of the year last year was Blizzard deciding, hey, we're going to do something we've never done, which is to essentially talk about what's coming in near totality, at least to a certain point, in 2023, the coming year. And along with a very nice post from Holly Longdale, who is doing a great job over there leading the Warcraft team, they dropped this sweet beauty right here. This phenomenal 2023 roadmap detailing, at least to some degree, 6 patches, mini patches, big patches, and commenting about how, and we did touch on this back when, listen, I got to get as much mileage out of this interview as I can. When we talked to Ian Hazakostas, when I got a chance to talk to Ian and stare into his eyes, this beautiful blue eyes. My wife says he looks like a serial killer, but honestly, I think it's that glazed look.
He does look a little off-putting. It's your wife might be honest.
Yeah, we're gonna drop some names here. One of the things that we did talk about was patch cadence, and Manny from 4 Azeroth also brought this up, was patch cadence. And going back to Legion, because a lot of people cite Legion as sort of the template for what people really want, is not a terribly long period of time between content drops, that when they do happen, we're not getting the Twitter patch from Warlords of Draenor that we're like, is that it? Is that and a selfie cam? Like, is that what you've been working on? And like, is there anything else? Well, it looks like they're going to try to model that to some degree, because we do have a quite full schedule coming now this year. But we also know, since I originally wrote up the notes for this from 2 weeks ago, is that the first one, patch 10.0.5, is dropping Tuesday. So right around the corner. We're already there. And we actually have some stuff to talk about. The first of which I think is the one that I'm most excited about, but also the one we're still going to end up having to wait just a little bit longer for, is the trading post. So the trading post, which we've talked about a whole bunch of times, is going to be this sort of transmog mount, super collection of stuff that we are going to get currency for. You're going to get currency for just logging in. You're going to get currency for owning Dragonflight. It's something that you will have little mini quests for every month, and you're going to get to do all of these, little random activities, it sounds like, to earn more currency and get more mounts and things like that. That is the thing that I have been most excited about. We've talked about this on this show a couple of times. Does your level of excitement match or exceed my own, Allie, or is there something else about this patch that you're like,
I mean,
yes,
there is something else.
Coming.
We could talk about something else in a minute there with white and gray transmogs, but the trading post, I'm so excited about it, especially because, when it first dropped, everyone was freaking out because it's like, oh my God, it's going to be real world money. It's not real world money. It's not.
Nope.
It's okay. It's all in-game stuff.
Yep.
I think this is great because it's going to keep people playing. It's going to give us stuff to do, which is fantastic. And I love transmogs and mounts and everything. And I like the fact that if there's something on there you want, but you haven't earned enough currency for it yet, you can freeze it and save it for like the next cycle. And it's okay. Like if life gets a little busy and you just couldn't quite get it that month, it's okay. You can still get it. Like, you're not going to be punished for having a life outside the game.
Yes.
So this is it's fantastic. I can't wait to see all the stuff that's going to be in there. We've already seen some things, and I'm excited, especially certain pirate hats. But it's
there it is. There's that pirate gear.
My pirate gear, some mounts, and I love mounts. So this is it's really smart, and I'm really glad they're doing this.
it does seem to be, again, just another one of these, I don't know, philosophical changes, attitudinal changes that have come over this franchise, over this game, where we used to really be beholden to guilt. I think when it came to playing Warcraft, like you had to have so much time that you had to carve out in order to accomplish certain things, or else you got left behind. That was it. Tough shit, tough luck. And some people like that part of the game. Like you had to be there. Like you have to do this. You have to earn these things, or else, too bad, so sad. You just weren't as committed as everybody else. And now with this, again, these sorts of philosophical changes of do what you want to do. You don't have to be beholden to all of these things. It feels like the pressure is off to a certain degree. I don't know that I feel that as much, because I look at my map and I see all the stuff that there is to do, and I want to do it all at once, and I'm like,
right.
So much shit to do. But it's, it's not crushing if I don't get to it right away. I still get to do some of the things that I want to do. But yes, the flail, the sulfurous flail that they had in the art, where they're mocking up what that trading post is going to look like, there undoubtedly is going to be a slew of those.
Oh, for around. Sure. Yeah.
Probably some old mounts. If they're, all the people that had the $3,000 mount that we got from a Twitch drop, I may have some sympathy for you if a time lost proto Drake shows up.
That one, like, so certain ones like that one, Invincible, like, that's gonna be rough if it shows up.
Are there sacred cows? Are there some that we cannot possibly cross? I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know.
But I'm really looking forward to that. And it seems like it's once again an opportunity for them to really flex their artistic muscle and to see what they want to do. But along those lines of transmog and everything else, I have to ask, because maybe I've missed something, but why is the white and gray transmog such a big deal? Because there's so many people that are looking forward to that. And like, yes, white and gray and transmog. I've been waiting for it all this time. And maybe there's something I just missed the boat on, or I, want to look like a certain way. But why that? Why is that such a big deal?
Because there's so many items that I've put on just to see what it looks like that would look so cool, but I can't transmog into them. There's the ones that are like the floppy fish. You slap people with a fish. Like, it's great. I have a couple white items. I've had it in my bank for years and years and years, hoping, praying for the day that we get to transmog it. And that day is coming. I'm so excited. But I have to read what Navrock said in chat since he's here, because I think he describes it much better. There are so many items in games I wish I could use on my character just to get the right look on whatever I'm feeling that day. Sometimes I don't want to be decked out in all my Warcraft armor, which is the best armor in the game at the moment. I have spoken. But it's nice that if you want to run around in some tattered pants and a leopard print pimp hat, you will be able to do so. Yes. There's some days I don't want to. I love this game. I'm not a big fan of those shoulders usually in my priests, because they're usually huge and gaudy and I don't like them. But like, there's sometimes like I just want to wear something more simple and chill, but also kick ass still. And there's some great options, especially, I don't know about I haven't looked at the grays as much, but I know for the whites, there's some fantastic options, and I'm so excited.
Maybe I'll see the light.
You'll see it. I think you're gonna start looking through the transmog now that it's an option.
Yeah.
And be like, oh.
Well, is it retroactive? Cool. I don't think I was clear on that. Is it? I
believe it's retroactive. Like, it's not something like you can't go into the Warcraft Armory or whatever and get a ticket for an item you've deleted years ago. Mm-hmm. But from my understanding, if you have something sitting in your bags or your bank, that will be made to be bind on equip.
Okay.
I believe is what it is, and then you'll get to do it.
Because I'm thinking of all the gear that we've gotten over the years. All the years I've been playing Warcraft. That's a lot of white and gray gear. It's a lot. It's a lot of gear that's been deleted, which is sad. But yeah, definitely they're gonna make a long time ago.
Exactly. And so like there's people farming it now, and there's gonna be, I'm sure, articles about where to get this, that, and the other, and how to put this look together and that look. I know a lot of the starter gear, they're gonna start making that available from a vendor.
You can see that, yeah.
Which I'm really happy about. So it's for those who are super into transmog, this is really overdue and very exciting.
There you go. Yeah. Barian, a raid leader here, is wondering about if quest gear will be retroactive. Yeah. Again, there's a lot of stuff here that I know I've seen and gotten rid of over the years, sold to some guy in Iron Forge.
No, and I haven't heard if it's one of those things because like we haven't been able to learn it before. So I don't think it's going to be the concept of if you have looted it in the past, it's going to be in your transmog. I don't think it's going to be that kind of retroactive.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
Well, we're going to find out. So. We're going to find out on Tuesday.
I know. I'm so excited.
Right around the corner. Along with that, they did finally give us a description of what they've got this Storm's Fury, because there was on here that said Primalist tomorrow. Everybody's like, what's a Primalist tomorrow? What does that mean? What's happening there? And it's essentially a continuance, it sounds like, of the pre-expansion events that we were having, but it's down in Thaldraszus. You got to go down to where we saw not Varian Rin, but his Murlocian version. That was so great.
Unfortunately, I don't think we get to go to Azmorloth again, although that would be amazing. I really hope at some point we have quests to take us back to Azmorloth because that was the best. But I think we're going to the part where it's the Primalist future. So it was like that first part in that chain.
Yes.
I think that's where it all is for now, but that could change.
Yeah.
You never know.
And so it sounds like you go in there, there's a quest in Valdrakken, send you down there, and then essentially you're fighting a more difficult version of what we had in the pre-expansion and the pre-launch events, and then there'll be vendors and those kinds of things. So again, more optional activities, things that you want to do. If that was fun, you want to go in there, that's your jam. There's some loot you want. There's I think another, pet or mount.
I think both. There's a Skyskin Hornstrider mount.
There it is.
And a Time Loss of Vorquin pet.
Oh my god, a Vorquin.
Yeah.
What would I do without another Vorquin in my bags? Along with that, tons of class updates. This is not the show that talks about class updates. If you've never seen Unshackled Fury, or you've never seen it because it's really the only time you've ever seen it. You've never heard Unshackled Fury. I don't really talk about class updates because I barely even know the warrior class. And even then, it's only the Fury Warrior class. And if you want to hear a bunch of stuff about, class breakdowns, go listen to the Starting Zone or one of these other guys that talk about all that stuff that actually know things. But I'll just tell you, there are a lot of class updates. There's a ton of them. I think warriors are getting buffed. I'm super excited about that. And if you want to see that, go check out the patch notes. The one other thing that I did want to touch on here that was not in the roadmap, but was in the patch notes, they're bringing back the Mage Tower in this little mini patch. Mage Tower, for those of you that may have forgotten, was a portion of the Legion expansion, where there were class-specific challenges that you could do, and if you completed them, you got, I believe it was an artifact appearance, but now it's going to be some more transmog gear, some fancy transmog gear. That thing whooped my ass very badly as Fury until I found out that there was a specific trinket that helped you kind of cheese the whole thing, and then it worked out great. So I don't know if they're going to do that again, but people really enjoyed the Mage Tower. And there was a lot of concern about what rewards they were going to give, because the player base got pretty amped up saying, well, I earned everything back then, and it was supposed to be a limited time event, and if you bring that back, well, now you're sort of devaluing all the time and effort and things that I've done before, including the mount, because there's a mount. If you were able to complete those challenges, I believe on like every class or something like that, you got a specific mount, and it looks like that may have been brought back, but there are different rewards otherwise because we don't have the artifacts anymore. Is the Mage Tower something that interests you? Is that something that you will be jumping into, Allie?
I don't know yet. I did it back when it was at content, in Legion. I did it for Holy Priest and Shadow Priest. I'm a Holy Main, but I like to play with the Shadow sometimes. And it was such a pain in the ass, and it was so much work, but that sense of like pride and just the amazing feeling of finally accomplishing it was fantastic, and I loved it. I went and tried it for a little bit when it was out last time, and I'm like, oh God, I don't know if I want to go through this again. It was such a pain in the ass last time. So there's enough content here now with this roadmap and the trading post, not to mention alt I want to play because it's more alt friendly this expansion.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure at some point I will dip my toes in, and who knows, it might get its hooks in me. It might not. We'll see, but I'm glad they're bringing it back because just again, it's another thing for people to do, which is great.
You'll get that first one in, and you'll be like, "Yes, I got it." The one class that you'll make it on, and then you'll bang your head on the rest. Like, what am I doing?
Right.
Yeah. I'll give it a go. I always give it a go, and then I get stomped out, and I go, "Yep, I'll see you at the end of the expansion." It's kind of like it used to be with the Brawlers Guild. Get stomped out real early, and then you know what?
God, I miss the Brawlers Guild. I miss it so much.
Yeah, I hung out. I think the majority of my time in Cataclysm, I think I just hung out down there, and that was it. Because I don't even think
it was
I was
awesome.
raiding all that much at that point. But yeah, that'd be nice. So Tuesday, patch 10.05 will be coming out, and apparently soon afterward, we will be getting news about patch 10.07, 10.0.7. And from here, things start to get a little interesting, and I think we can start more of our guesswork here based on the cadence that they want to have, and perhaps a very big event to come this year that we know about. So with patch 10.07, we know that there's going to be a return to Forbidden Reach, where our new class and race is from. So we're gonna see what that looks like. You know, I know, at least from the write-up that we got, that we'll have those dragons returning to their own land, but what are the rest of us gonna do? I don't know if that's quite clear just yet. But the biggest thing to me that's on this list, outside of, you know, holiday updates, cool, the human and orc,
which is overdue.
The human and orc heritage armor, which we have waited a long time for. So long, I thought they just forgot or were done with it. I mean, they probably didn't forget. I know they know more about this than I do. But where has it been? It seems like those are the two that are the most iconic out of all of World of Warcraft. On the cover of the original games, right? Like human and orc, those are the big ones. Nowhere to be found. Did a lot of the other ones. They were great. They did a good job. They were interesting and fun, and the quests were great. But human and orc still hanging out there. So now, knowing that we have another patch coming with those in it, obviously the human heritage armor, very big on this side of things. Does that one interest you more, or does the orc one interest you more?
Oh, it's going to be the human one for sure.
Okay.
I mean, to be fair, my priest, who's Worgen, was originally human.
Okay.
Because Worgen are just great, but I'll make a human for sure and get the heritage armor just to have it, because it's classic. Like if you care anything about the heritage armor, and it's just there's that need to collect it sometimes for some people, and I'm kind of surprised they didn't start with human and orc first when they started doing all the transmog stuff or the heritage armor stuff.
That's what I would have thought.
You would think, right? But
yeah,
I guess we're doing it now. Which is cool. So, I'm excited to see what they are.
So then there you go. So question for you, for the human heritage, I mean, anybody that knows me and knows the history of this show probably knows exactly what I'm thinking and where my brain goes. But for you, where do you think this quest line is going to take us for the human heritage armor, and what do you think that armor might look like, or what cues it might take after?
Well, I think it's going to look a lot like of what we've seen before in, Varian, for example. It's probably, I imagine it's going to be pretty Stormwind looking.
Stormwind Guard-ish.
Yeah, like it's but better, because like we've had like that Stormwind Guard looking stuff.
We have
from BFA, but I think it's going to be more like the more epic kind of thing that we've seen on Varian and Anduin and that kind of thing.
Yeah,
it's got it right. It's got to be special,
I would think. I mean, it's been thrown in my face a few times that Varian was essentially dusted. So it's not like I could get a lot of his armor, but his shoulder armor, as far as I know, is still out there somewhere in the ocean. So it would be amazing if we got sent back out there to retrieve
get his man
the shoulders of Varian Rin, and then have some other armor kind of filling in the gaps there. But that
would be pretty awesome.
I'd never take that off. I wouldn't.
That'd be cool.
I wouldn't ever take that off. That would be the only armor I would ever wear for the rest of the time that I play World of Warcraft. Do I think that's what it is? It's probably not. It's probably going to be something
Maybe.
else.
I mean, I think it'd be really cool if we got some kind of scenario that showed some of the history of Stormwind, because Stormwind's been through a lot that happened before game. You know, Stormwind got destroyed back in the day, like everything that happened with the Defiance Brotherhood and Varian's wife, you know, Tiffin. You know, like just so much has happened that people don't know about, and I think it'd be really cool to find some kind of way, maybe with the Bronze Dragonflight's help, to actually be able to experience some of that history in that past and earn the heritage armor that way.
That would make more sense in the context of this expansion.
But then maybe to finish it off, to you know, bring in your Varian shoulders, made to bring it out. Like they'll be like, we need one more piece to really just make this work. Go into the ocean. Go find those shoulders. That'd be pretty cool.
I would love that. Oh my god.
It took us 3 expansions to get the clock fixed. It's true. It's true.
You know,
Stormwind's been through a lot.
We had a whole district that got wiped out.
Yeah. I mean, if you're talking things that took forever, look at the Westfall roof. They're working on that thing for so many expansions.
Fucking terrible. Unbelievable. All right. So, with all of this in mind, looking at this, when do you think, with this 10.05 patch happening Tuesday, when do you think we'll see the next sort of mini content patch, 10.0.7?
I think April feels pretty good. Because then we're getting into spring territory, holiday updates. I mean, that's right around the time of a Noble Garden, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think it'll be somewhere around there. I guess maybe May, but I'm guessing April.
That feels about right.
May feels a little late.
I have a feeling we're probably going to agree a lot early on. I'm curious how this is going to work as we get into the later patches here, but yeah, that feels about right. If they're specifically calling out the 11-week cadence in Legion, that we're probably looking at, you know, something similar-ish,
right?
For this, at least that's what they're shooting for, and that's something to keep in mind too. Is that this is like their best guess? I want to say this feels like this is a commitment. This is what we want to do, but this may not necessarily be what happens. It may play out differently. There may be some change that occurs. They've asked for feedback, right? If there's some component in here somewhere that's boo-boo and looks shitty, and we got to go back to the drawing board at least to some degree and fix it, that could bump some of this out.
It could
a little bit. But
I like, though, like they're giving themselves some wiggle room, you know, and they're not giving dates. They're not saying it's every 7-something weeks. Like it's a seasonal thing. And that's really smart because it gives them that flexibility. And like later on, they talk about content system updates because it gives them that flexibility to add things based on feedback and what they need to do, which is, I think, really smart to give us the information, but with the understatement that, you know, this is a rough idea.
Well, and especially now that they're actually listening to players.
Yeah.
When
they're doing a really good job with it. Yeah.
That they're doing something with it, which still feels odd. I feel like
it's a change of pace.
Yeah, there's gonna be a shoe drop somewhere of like, you know, never mind. We took too much feedback. So yeah, I think we're in agreement. April, that sounds about right. And then eventually that feeds us into the first major content patch of Dragonflight. It's technically kicking off season 2, patch 10.1. Where we're going to have all the big stuff. New zone, new raid, PvP apparently happens, but I don't pay attention to any of that. Again, also for the new listeners or new viewers, there's no PvP talk on this show either. So if you want that, technically PvP will be your best source for PvP news. World renowned and much respected. So go listen to Garrison and the boys out there. Mythic plus Dungeon Pool. I know we have a question from our Discord about Mythic plus. I'll just go ahead and say it right now. I don't do it. But you know, I know people are excited about that. More professions updates. If Nav was here, and I know Nav is in the chat, we were going to have a double rage segment with the second half being about professions, because professions in Dragonflight, while they look cool, are confusing as fuck. and
They really are.
it needs some work. It needs some work. So
It just they went from one thing to another, and like this system, while it has potential, it feels so damn complicated.
Yeah.
Like normally when they introduce us to new big system things, they've said in the past they like to roll it out slowly, get feedback, that kind of thing.
Yes.
I feel like they could have done that with Professions. They could have, given us the ability to fix our talent trees, and they could have waited to do things like deafness and finesse and perception and all that other crap that I haven't quite gotten my head around yet. Like add that in later in the expansion.
Yeah.
Like let us get used to the new system before we start adding all this stuff that you have to like take this potion to get more perception and this, that, and the other. It's too much at once.
It's too complicated.
Too damn much.
And we've said it on this show for years. I should not have to go to a third-party site to understand how to play this game. Like credit where credit is due. The Gothic sprite out there running Wowhead, she's done a great job. They do a great job. I should not have to go to that website to understand how to do things in World of Warcraft. It should be far more intuitive in some respects than it is. And I think sometimes they lean a little too much on community guides and stuff like that. And this might be one of those places where that happened. I could be wrong. Maybe they.
And there, I mean, to some people's credit, like there are some fantastic guides out there. Like people worked really hard with understanding the system.
Yes.
But I admit, like the more I get my hands on it, the more I'm getting used to it. But it took a bit to feel comfortable with it because it is just so much at once, and I didn't want to mess up my talent choices and specs and what to do with all that. And it was just
I had no idea what I was picking. I'm like, I think I'm picking stuff that sounds right, but I don't know if this is really right. And
and now in retrospect, like I did what I thought was going to be best for like my guild and for work orders and stuff on tailoring, and I realized no, really could have made a better choice. And so I'm like, oh well, that's my life now.
Mm-hmm.
Here we are.
Stuck. I gave up on it. I was like, every expansion, I'm gonna dedicate myself to Professions. It always falls through. It never works the way it was supposed to. Anyway,
like I like that they added more depth. I think that's fantastic, especially for the people who are really interested in the profession. And for them, like part of that and the auction house and gold making, like that's their game. That's they want to play it. I love that they added something with a depth.
Yeah.
It's great. It's just, it was a lot of depth. And some of us are still getting used to that depth. That sounded dirty.
It's all right. This is a show for it. It's all right. Cut loose here. It's that rum talking.
I only had a little bit. I'm not lightweight.
Hey, at least you brought some. But we'll see some updates at any rate in patch 10.1, whatever that's going to look like. So I guess the major question coming in are two questions. Where do you think that this is going to go? Because we're getting a new zone or new raid, assuming that they're going to be tied. Where do you think that we're going to go, and when do you think this one's going to come around?
I mean, the next little patch comes in summer, which could be any time during the summer, right?
Yeah,
so I'm gonna guess
August into September.
Right. Yeah. So I'm gonna say that this is gonna come out in June, because June tends to be my lucky month. So I'm gonna say June for this month for season 2.
Agreed.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Yes. What month are you thinking?
Yeah, June. School's out.
You feeling it?
Summer.
Yeah, it's time.
Gotta keep those kids interested before they gotta go to summer school. I think that's dead on. Again, trying to keep with this pace. It's aggressive. I think that's an aggressive pace. But maybe late June. And then there seems to be some unexplored or underdeveloped areas of the Dragonflight map, perhaps, that could get filled in, with the other elemental, the primalists, running wild. We got big dragons of different shades deciding that, we're going to wreak some more havoc being out there. I assume they must have a, what was it? Like a super tower where they live, what the Justice League had their
super tower.
All the justice. What did the other guys have? I can't fucking remember. Lex Luthor and the boys. They had a place to get together. Somebody out here's got to help me out. They must have a home. or some layer.
Something. Yeah,
Right?
you would think. Yeah, you would think.
Do you think we're gonna take them all on one time? Is that the next raid,
Maybe.
or are they gonna string that out?
I don't know, because they could do like one, like maybe a couple of them like season 2 and then one of them season 3, like
Mhm.
But at the same time, like maybe season 3 is gonna be something completely different to, build up some other suspense or some other story or whatever it may be, whoever the big bad's gonna be, whatever leads to the next expansion, for example, if they go that route of it, like leading to the next expansion.
Mhm.
Something I've been contemplating for season 2 is as you get through Valdrakken Rep and you get to 12, I don't know 19. I'm gonna play 19 after this show, so I haven't done 19 yet. But big things happen, whatever that is. But I know for 12, there's some things that happen.
Oh, I haven't even seen that yet.
I won't give any spoilers. It just tier hold. So, and tier hold is, I mean, it's as we've heard before, it's old Doris. It's a Titan facility. And as we know from past Titan facilities, usually the Titans like to build their facilities on top of various prisons and things like that. So I think there's something going on under there that is evil, and it's going to be the new zone and also the new raid of whatever is going on underneath this Titan facility, whatever it might be.
Do you think that's in 10-1?
Yes, 10-1.
Subterranean
something.
You know what? I think that's as good an explanation as any, right there.
I could be wrong. That's what I'm going with. That's my current theory.
Well,
that could change in a couple months, but
you know what? Honestly, I kind of like that. Even with all that they've told us, it's still a pretty big mystery. I mean, we're out here giving some conjecture, and credit to the Taliesin and Evitels and Bellulars of the world and all those other folks that they're putting together the pieces. But I do just feel a general sense of I have no idea what's going on. All I know is how the current raid ends, which is that yes, we take down 1, but 3 basically traded 1 for 3 in terms of these big angry dragons that are really pissed off at Alex Straza and are upset that the world got reordered. It's
right.
I keep trying to think of an example or some sort of analogy for this, but one doesn't really come clearly to mind. But it is an interesting lens that they've shown this world through, where once again it's giving some dimension to our bad guys. It's not they're just bad to be bad.
Yeah.
Which you see a lot of concern in other fandoms where this guy's just here to be bad. Like, what's the motivation here? Like, we don't really understand it. And I'm not big and listen, I'm not a Rhodes Scholar. Chances are most of you aren't either. And so it always cracks me up when people are like, I am giving a critique of how this story is written. And it's like,
yeah,
most of you cannot say that a story is good or bad. It's just that it didn't go the way that you wanted. And so you're upset about that. Okay, fine. Like that's bound to happen. But with this, the fact that they're upset that the reordering of the Titans was given credence, right? That was the route that they ultimately decided to go, and that's the power structure that was created. And they're like, no, we should go back to the way that it was natural to us for us to be. I mean, that's not without merit.
Right.
And so it's interesting now to see that play out as they continue to gain power, and now they're re-empowered or released or whatever it is. But yeah, that would be pretty sweet to find out, what's underneath. And I think Shanti said it, and there's a whole bunch of old people in here, a bunch of people in here. It's another not old god expansion.
Right.
I mean,
it could be by the end. Yeah, you never know.
So, with that being said, I'm gonna jump in with you on this one.
Bring
Underground subterranean layer.
Yeah,
we're gonna do some damage, but then coming out of it, we'll have more story. Heading into whatever 10.1.5 is, where we're going to see a mega dungeon. And the mega dungeon, I assume, is going to have a whole bunch of lore tied into whatever it was that we just did. So if there's let's say a subterranean zone that now we're heading into, maybe there's another wing of that. Kind of like the old Jol Narub, how that was supposed to be a whole zone at one time. But it
yes,
kind of got
this massive extends like underneath all of Northrend.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe there's some other Titan complex under there, another prison that we've got to deal with, one of these old god prisons. Maybe there's some tentacle
maybe
we have to take care of,
or my dear warrior friend.
Yes.
Do you feel like you need to address the Odin in the room?
I think Odin did nothing wrong.
So we've been learning this expansion that that's not necessarily true. And we've been learning that the Titans not necessarily great.
We got lies.
So you know, and that's one of the things, like going back to the depth of the bad guys, we're also getting some depth to the quote unquote good guys.
Yep.
You know, we've been taught this whole time, even Chronicles are written from the Titan perspective, you know, so maybe the Titans aren't all that great. Maybe it's more of a morally gray thing. And through various books and stuff in the Old Man Dungeon, if you pick them up and read them, we're seeing, you know, that maybe Odin's, again, not that great. And so maybe, and first off, there's a proper way to say mega dungeon, my friend.
Oh.
There's a proper way.
Oh.
This is not just a regular dungeon.
Enlighten me.
It's epic. It's metal. So you have to say mega dungeon.
Mega dungeon.
There you go. Oh, beautiful. You got to put some metal into there.
There
It's
you go.
perfect.
Put some bass in your voice.
Shanty was calling me out, so I say it right. But maybe this mega dungeon is going to be involving Odin.
I'd be all right with that.
It could be interesting.
I'd be all right. Well, you know, I sometimes on the, let's say, less generous side, I feel like people shit on the story writers or the folks at Blizzard because they go, oh, that's just a way for them to, you know, retcon a bunch of stuff and they run out of ideas and this and that. But I think you're right in the sense that giving them more dimension, again, helps to flesh out this place that we're in and why we're there and the things that go on. And it's not out of, I don't know, out of the realm of possibility that the things that we've been told were correct. You know, I've said for at least, I want to say a number of episodes or so, it really does feel like we're heading towards, along those lines, a light versus void.
I think so too. Yeah.
Where maybe the void isn't as bad as we thought it was. You know, maybe, you know, it's probably not great, but maybe it's not as bad as we thought it was. And the light, as we saw with Illidan, maybe the light is not
that
as
great either.
Not as good as we think it is. And because I have to talk about my boy Anduin, you know, maybe he's the bridge between the two. They were
easily. Well, because we got the whole little void tendril thing coming out of his sleeve, and in one of the books, and he's off, you know, brooding and
on a vision
you know,
quest,
processing life and whatnot. Like he could come back and be that bridge easily.
He's running around in some sweats listening to Lunatic Fringe. And if you get that reference, you're old as fuck, just like I am. So congratulations. Yes. So mega dungeon, some other world events, and content and system updates. That could be fucking anything. Because they do list that a couple of times. That is sort of the general catch-all.
Yeah, and I think that's what gives them the wiggle room to act on player feedback, and who knows what else they may need to do by then. So
yeah, this part here, this sort of summer fall, this is where it starts to feel a little more nebulous to me,
right.
Where it could fall a number of ways. I feel like when they say summer, to me, this feels like August. This feels like maybe a late August, you know, right before school starts or right as school starting, depending on where you live. You can tell I'm a dad with children, because this is how we think about our years, like around school years and stuff. But August, I want to say August feels about right there. But what do you think? Is that?
I mean, it could be August. Yeah, I think August feels right. Because it's just a small patch. It's not a big thing.
Yeah.
And we would be in the season 2 raid long enough to get a new like content in with a mega dungeon. So that would work.
Mega dungeon.
Oh god, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. See, it's not a regular dungeon. It's mega. It's epic. It's metal.
Yeah, you gotta sell it. You really
gotta sell it. You gotta put oomph on there. See, my big thing here is fall. Cause yes, I'm being the lore person I am, like I'm excited for story and quests. Like the side quests in this game have been fucking phenomenal, and I always want more story.
Yep.
But that holiday refresh right there, that's gonna be my Brewfest refresh. I'm calling it now. That's gonna come out in time for Brewfest.
Ooh.
because I love Brewfest so much,
it is
and
the
I'm
best.
so ready for a good refresh with it. So
It's true.
I'm calling it now. That's coming out in time for Brewfest.
October.
Yeah.
October. What? You know what? It's my favorite, but I'm not even really sure. It's October, right?
Yeah.
Before. Okay.
It's like,
First week.
is that September?
Second week.
No, it's early October.
Early October.
Early October.
Yeah.
I feel like we should know that.
We should. Chat. Do your thing.
Keep talking.
Live fact checking. Get it going. Yes. Ram racing is great, and all of the games are great, but it could use an update. You know, maybe a little drag theater tent. You can do a little of this, little of that.
Okay.
Okay.
Google says it was last year. It was September 20th through October 6th.
Okay. All right. We're right.
That'll do.
Early October. Also late September. That does feel about right though. A Brewfest refresh. Although I'm curious how much they're doing in order to actually make it an item on this calendar. Like, is it tied to the year-round? Because there's the one, what a long strange trip it's been,
right,
achievement, which kind of ties all of the year together. I feel like, are they going to rejuvenate that in some way as well?
Maybe make a brand new one.
I know people were pissed about that one where you had to go into the
Boogaloo,
PvP
long
business.
strange trip, electric Boogaloo number 2, something or other. Whatever the young kids are saying. But
whatever's going on the Tic Tac, you know,
right.
on the interwebs.
But maybe, I mean, it could be 2 long strange trips. They could add a whole new. And I'm sure we'll get new quests.
Yeah.
And new ways to collect the various currencies and that kind of thing. And
yeah.
Also with them trying to be a little more mindful with some of their things in game because of everything that happened, and them trying to be more inclusive and mindful and that kind of thing. Like, I can see them possibly changing up Brewfest a little bit with that as well.
Yeah.
Not that it's that bad, but maybe they're going to try to do something that's not like glorifying alcohol as much. I can see them doing maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
I love Brewfest though. I love
teen.
dwarves.
Yeah,
just bring it all. Just give me all the alcohol. It's fine.
As long as there's not like a, line of Bud Girls and Spuds McKenzie like down at a tent somewhere. I think you're probably okay. But yeah, let's see here. No PvP for holiday meta achieves. Okay, thanks. Yes, Shanty, you're right. And even longer stranger trip. I think Rommel's got it. That's
there we go. I like it, Rommel. Good call.
So yeah, so story and quests sounds like it's very much intentional to then lead into what will be season 3, patch 10.2, with another zone, another raid, another season, all that jazz. I have to imagine there's another one after that in some way, or is this it? Is this the totality, the bulk of Dragonflight in terms of its storytelling and major patches? Do you think that there is a season 4 with something substantive behind it, or is season 3 kind of it? And when do you think season 3 will start?
Well, I think because this is going to lead to the BlizzCon stuff, right?
Yes.
Like they gave us a full year's roadmap.
Yes.
And to just get Dragonflight and already have all this content for a year and then start 2024, like, I feel like they're going to need a season 4 to tide us over until the next expansion. Because season 3, we'll say for a while, we'll go through the holidays, and then season 4, we'll say February or March, maybe. I don't know. But then it also depends on how they handle season 4. If it's going to be all new zone and story, or if it's going to be a little more like season 4 in Shadowlands, where they just kind of do something different with the content and just kind of keep us playing a little bit to tide over until the next expansion. That I don't know.
I can see them kind of finding alternate ways to do a season 3, but that felt like, I don't know, it almost felt like an emergency measure on their part. Like, hey,
it did. I totally agree.
We're gonna do this last season, and it's totally new and different, but it feels like an experiment. Felt like an experiment more than it felt purposeful. I guess if
Yeah.
that makes sense.
And I
But
think they even said at one point that was more of an experiment to see like how it went, what people thought, and that kind of thing.
yeah,
It just I feel like we're gonna need another season before another expansion. And it feels weird to be thinking about another
Mhm.
expansion already, considering we're just sitting in here now. But
that is
I
the
don't know what
cycle
else they're
under
gonna
which we
do.
work.
Right?
That is what we do. So yeah, so that to me kind of leads into where all of this may tie together. Looking at season 3, looking at the calendar, looking at the timing of this, where if we're thinking 10.1.7, let's say that maybe that's late September. Maybe that is a Brewfest type thing. Could it be that we then get season 3 kicking off either late October, early November, or do you think that that's going to go into December? Here is why I asked this, because now we got to get into the other part of this. You know, put my tinfoil hat on, as everybody else has been doing, trying to suss out what are our BlizzCon clues, because they've come out and said it. Mike Ibarra had a post. Hey, we're doing BlizzCon. We already knew that BlizzCon was coming. They've talked about BlizzCon before, sort of trying to reimagine what BlizzCon is going to look like. So now we have to start reading the tea leaves and going, okay, what are the clues that we have? Because thinking about BlizzCon, it's a huge endeavor, even if they do sort of a portion of what they used to do. The amount of lead time that you need to build it, to make it, to get the merch, to do all the planning, like you have to know that way in advance. You can't, it's like, we're going to do it next month. No, it doesn't work that way. So kind of looking at all of the things that we have, the first and probably the biggest one is looking at because we assume this is where it's going to be, is looking at the calendar for the Anaheim Convention Center. That's one of the biggest giveaways is BlizzCon on that calendar, yes or no?
Not yet.
Typically it is not until like when it's announced for the whole thing. So what you can do is you can look for big gaps in the calendar itself, like multiple week gaps, because if you've never been to a BlizzCon, first of all, the Anaheim Convention Center is massive. Like the whole building itself is immense. Like it's hard to describe comparing it. It's almost like you are in like a stadium. I mean, it's that big. It's just enormous. And all of the stuff that they put in there, the statues and the gear and the vendor booths and all that stuff, it takes a long time to set up. So, and on top of that, when I talk about the statues, that means the big ones that they use a forklift to move out from Blizzard HQ into a truck and over to the convention center. Like it's a massive undertaking. And looking at their calendar, there's two big gaps that come to my mind, and maybe a third. First is in August, September. Second is November, very popular time. And the third is December. Gonna take the next step. Book releases. There's a whole bunch of book releases coming. We have July 27th for now. Now, these dates have changed a couple times. They weren't around for a while. July 27th. A is for Azeroth, the ABCs of World of Warcraft. July 27th. August 17th, the Dragonflight Codex. So ties in maybe that August window. November 2nd, the Untitled Dragonflight prequel novel. Let's go even further. If you've looked at booking a hotel, let's say, like, I always stay at the Hilton. I'm Team Hilton. That's never going to change. You Marriott people, fuck right off.
See, I'm a weirdo that stays over at Clarion, but it's still right there. It's
I said
fine.
Team Hilton. This podcast is Team Hilton.
I'm just telling you where I am. It's fine. I can walk over to you. It's fine.
It's terrible. They put a DJ in the lobby. It's awful. So I looked.
You enjoy Team Hilton. You enjoy.
I do. It's where I saw Chris Metzen having a very good time. And I also had a very good time getting very, very drunk and standing on a table and yelling for the Alliance to the point where I lost my voice. And that's how you learn lessons, children. But it was fun.
I can see that.
Yes, it was a good time. Probably not the most appropriate. This was back when we were in Convert to Raid, and Daddy Pat got really mad at us, I think, because we were probably spreading a bad name for the Convert to Raid guild. But you know what? There were these filthy hornies walking through the lobby, and we couldn't just let that go unaddressed. So, you know, there's a video of it somewhere. But I mean, I'm screaming at the top of my lungs inside of this hotel lobby.
Wait, there's a video of this somewhere?
There is a video of it somewhere. I don't know whatever happened to it.
You need to find it and share it with me.
I see Copper, the leader of my my team and my guild, Copperbolt. I don't know, maybe Copper, if you still have it, we got to find it. But it's fantastic. Anyway, Team Hilton. So I'm looking at the Hilton website. I'm like, all right, let's see. You know, we're thinking about dates. Let's go out there, and it's booked. The hotel's booked. I'm like, well, shit. I guess I blew it or something happened. Oh no. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at this next screen here. Oh, tweets. I got tweets. So Mr. GM, look, he had tweeted out this screenshot of Anaheim Convention Center already sold out at the Hilton. And we had at Kirsten Chick, not pronouncing that right, I'm sorry, said they'll be blocked off for the event. They'll release them when the date is confirmed. Another person says this is at Chrissy XG. I know she's around. Yeah, seems like this really confirms it since hotels are aware way ahead of time. And the same person at Kristen Cheek said, "Yep, I work for Hilton."
Interesting.
I did verify this. She does work for Hilton. Back to the roadmap. That to me seems like another big one. Like, ooh, people that work there, they seem to know. So a couple of theories here. One, if they're reimagining BlizzCon, maybe they'll do two. Maybe there'll be like a mini one in August, maybe a mini one in November, or maybe split it up, have one in one location, maybe more closer to the Midwest or the East Coast, so more people can attend that way. Because coming out to California is an expensive proposition. I mean, I live here. I've lived here most of my life. I can tell you a lot of the stuff that they say is true. It's very expensive to be here. That is an expensive trip. Maybe having something split between the two coasts. Austin, Copper, I think is right. Copper, bringing up Austin.
They have offices there, yeah.
They have offices there. Then maybe that's something. Maybe because of COVID is still a concern out there, and I think things have gotten a lot better, but it is still a concern. Maybe they want to wait as long as possible into the year, and finally we end up in November. But I'm going to circle. It could be somewhere late August, early September, but I still think November 3rd and 4th. That seems to be the date that lines up. The prequel novel is going to be out by then. Maybe we get season 3 starting around then, or if it doesn't start right then, maybe it starts, I don't know, right after. But I feel like this year we're going to get an expansion announcement at BlizzCon, because that's what we do. That's what we got to do. With the wild card being maybe December. There's also a block of time in December. Maybe they switch to early December, although I don't think they want people working like through Thanksgiving and the holidays to try to put all this together.
That gets really finicky with the holidays. I don't think it's going to be
I don't think
past
so.
Thanksgiving.
But looking at all of the clues, reading the tea leaves, got the hat on, that's about the date that I'm circling. But what do you see? Do you through your more reasoned lenses, do you see
my sense?
your sense, the sense that you have brought tonight? Do you see what I'm seeing, or do you see something else?
Not past Thanksgiving. That's just straight out. I think that's not gonna happen. But the whole reimagining thing, it does make me wonder what that would look like and how that might change things or change the date or the location. I can tell you because I too looked at hotel prices and looked at Clarion already and was able to pre-book sometimes.
Ooh.
But I can tell you that October 19th through the 21st is a global produce and floral show at the Anaheim Convention Center. But the next 2 weeks after that, completely empty on the calendar. So it could be roughly the same normal time of like last weekend of October, first weekend of November. I feel like that's probably what it's going to be.
I feel like that's what the people want.
But when we start talking about how they want to reimagine BlizzCon, that's when it starts to throw a wrench into it. Like maybe I don't know if that means things like maybe the Hilton doesn't get a DJ. You know, maybe I don't know how I would reimagine it if it's not changing locations, just straight up.
Maybe they do
So
2
that's
locations.
maybe, and maybe like show like if they have like some whatever plans at like one location, they'll like televise it like on the other location too, and vice versa, and
I could see that.
maybe a good band. Maybe a good band. That'd be nice.
Boy, they've given the music thing has become so contentious that now we have to have multiple people in the venue. So people, if you want to see Hodor spin some tunes, you can go to this one. If you want to see, Lindsey Sterling ripping it up, you can go down to the other end of the hall, or I don't know, maybe there's like Muzak playing. You feel like you're in a grocery store in another hall. That's gotten out of hand. All I know is I got to see Metallica, so I probably
I wish I did.
best that it ever got. So. Yeah, so
no, like Shanty's talking about BlizzCon East and BlizzCon Central. Maybe.
I feel like that might be the way to go for them because you get more opportunities. Maybe that relieves some of the stress. Because if you've ever tried to get tickets to BlizzCon, it's a joke. It is.
It really is.
It's insane. You just have to sit here and mash keys trying to refresh the page, hoping that you get in on time.
Yeah.
And then you have to have all your information ready and then bang it all out. It's not fun. It's terrible.
Yeah, I've only done it the 1 year in 2019. I'm so glad I did.
Yeah,
but it was a hot mess.
It's not good. It's not good. So that's your calendar. That's 2023. That's what we're looking at this year. A very full year of Warcraft, and it's such a welcome surprise.
It really. This is something that we would get at a BlizzCon. So the fact that they, went ahead and gave this to us this all now outside of BlizzCon, like I think it was fantastic communication from them, and that's the thing. Like we are in general getting more and better communication from them, which is a welcome change.
See, Barian's advocating for Taylor Swift at BlizzCon. That would be, I mean, that would be an amazing get. There's no doubt about that. That would be a phenomenal get for our community. I'm not going to stick around for it. I'm going to head out to the Viking food truck, probably because the line will be shorter.
We did make sure to go there per your suggestion. It's so good.
It's so good. Fucking good. If there's any, fuck the panels. Just go for the Viking food truck. That's the only thing you
except
really
for the voice actor panel.
Well, that's good too.
The voice actor panel is phenomenal. But yeah, that food truck. Oh, it's so damn good.
It is dynamite. This is the only reason to travel to LA. Or sorry, it's not LA. It's it's
get it right, gosh.
Yeah, I know.
That's your state, man. Come on.
Get thrown the fuck out of here. So that's our calendar. It sounds like there may be a little bit of wiggle room, but overall, if we're looking at something new every couple of months, I think that puts us in a really good state. And also knowing that they're working a couple of expansions ahead. We have a team that seems to be pretty stable right now. We haven't talked about it in a while. Obviously, the labor situation at Activision Blizzard is still in turmoil. Hell, we had Brian Holinka just yesterday, I think, sort of tweeting or subtweeting about his support for unions, saying after a lifetime of essentially not really being on board with it, the last couple of years working at Blizzard really turned him around on it. So that fight does continue.
Yeah.
That being said, it does seem like things are trending in the right direction, which is good, at least from the outside perspective. I don't work there. You don't work there. I mean, everybody's going to have their own opinion on the outside, but only those that work there really know. But it does feel from the things that we see and hear kind of across the board that at least within the team itself, people are feeling more positive about what's going on. And that's great. So after everything that we've been through the last couple of years, it's a welcome change. So, now that we've talked about all of that, bye Roadmap. You were fun while you lasted.
Bye Roadmap.
We got some Discord questions. I did put it out on Discord. Hey, we're doing this live show, and if you've got questions for Allie and I, throw them up. So, first question that came through here was from Craig. Just Craig. Craig, would love to hear your opinion on the raid and each boss. So
each boss.
I don't know that I'm necessarily going to go through each boss because we picking up a lot of time here, and this is going on like way longer than I thought it would. But let's just talk about the raid. Let's talk about the raid in general. Sorry, Craig. You and I have both seen the raid up to the last boss. I know I have watched the cinematic, so I know how it ends and what goes on afterwards. We are not mythic raiders, or at least at the moment. But we are seeing the content. So overall, it's what, an eight boss raid? It's not one of the longer ones.
No, it's 10.
10?
Wait.
Is it 10?
Nope.
No.
Hold on. You're right. It's 8.
8.
Yep, it's
so,
8. Yeah.
So opening raid, typically a little quicker, a little shorter. Overall, early impressions or impressions so far, we're only, so many weeks, months in. So it's still a little bit fresh. It's not like we've been doing this for a year. But your thoughts on the raid so far, the Vault of the Incarnates?
I like it. It's pretty good. I do think the Razageth fight is still too long. When the fights get to be that long after all, I'm just like, it's really hard to learn the later phases when a fight is that long. So my team has not been on normal yet, but we're starting to dip into heroic, so that's something.
There you go.
But other than the long Razageth fight, at least it's a unique fight. It's a fun fight. And there's some good fights in here in general. And, we got Grim Totem's a great fight. I really like that one. Broodkeeper, it's something a little different. I hate Dathia with a passion. And Spider Boss is okay. But again, it's something a little different and stuff.
Oh, God.
And it's nice. Like, it has a little bit of the elemental theme, but it's not like all elementals. And, it's got some variety. And I really like the first dragon run out there. We have to actually do a bombing run with the dragons.
That was pretty sweet. I did not know about that.
That feels just epic. I didn't know about it either. I got in and I'm like, what are we doing, guys? And it was so, just watching all these dragons just fly by and like throwing all this stuff down was really cool. Like I have fun with that every single week. It just does not get old for me. So overall, I rather like the raid. I do. It's pretty good. Council's decent. Yeah. How do you feel? Where's your team at right now?
Well, we're the same. We're banging on the door here of normal, clearing normal. And I think it's taken us about the right amount of time. And that to me is usually my judge of whether a raid is good or bad. Is
right.
How long does it take us to get through? Do I feel like we're stuck in a slog here or there? And it did feel like we were slowing down just a touch, but then picked it right up and kicking ass, and now we're on Razageth and trying to do our thing there. I don't know. I shouldn't be careful if my raid leader is here. He's doing a very good job of hurting a lot of kids. And
are you kissing his ass? Is that what's going on?
No, because he'll just give me shit anyway. We're doing a pretty good job. Yes, our DK tank here, who again overpowered because he took the last 7% or whatever on his own, and I'm just sitting there dead, just drinking my drink. It's like, yep. Oh, we got it. Yeah, you got it, buddy. Yeah, no problem. I mean, that is pretty hilarious. I hate the ice spider. I don't like the ice spider. It's sliding all around. Doesn't do it for me.
It's kind of, I like it. Like, once I learned the mechanics, learn how to avoid the pull in, where to stand and stuff. It's kind of fun. I think the ice is. My brain the whole time is going like, wee, when I start sliding on the ice.
I feel like I never
especially
have
that last
good
phase.
To stand. I'm always standing in some shit I'm not supposed to be standing in. I'm like, oh.
Well, and that's the tricky part is like people learning the mechanics. Like once it starts getting down and people are better about like where to put the ice.
You get
stuff,
that rhythm down.
And then it starts feeling better.
Yeah, overall I think it's a great opening raid. Right length.
It really is.
Varied fights. The council fight is not a backbreaker, which a lot of times a council fight can be a tough wall. For a lot of raids, but this one it feels good, especially as a Fury Warrior. You get to do a lot of AoE, which listen, I want to pad my stats as much as I fucking can. So I love that fight. And Razageth, yes, we haven't gotten too far into it yet, but I have a feeling this one's going to take us a little bit to learn. And I am not a fan of the 12-minute fight, the 15-minute fight. Like,
Yeah.
I appreciate the complexity and what it requires
Yeah.
to put it together. I think that is to be commended, but it's hard to focus that long and to regroup after something like that. Especially as you get later into that fight and you get closer to the kill and you're like, I've been doing this 10, 11, 12 minutes. And that means you're only getting so many pulls in an hour. For a team like ours, it only goes, 2.5-ish hours twice a week. You're only looking at, so many pulls with a break in there. So maybe you're getting 10 pulls.
Right.
And that's, I don't know if that's necessarily what they want, but overall, I think we like the raid.
Yeah.
You had some questions in Discord about thoughts on dragon flying. I think just because you wanted to talk about dragon riding and how great dragon riding is and how it's the most amazing feature of any expansion that's ever happened. So is there anything that you would like to tell the world about your love of dragon riding?
I really love it. It is. I have been calling it my drug because that's what it feels like. And now that I've completed all the races on advanced at gold level and I have nothing new to do with that, I'm going through a little bit of withdrawals. So every time there's a world quest, I still do it on advance, so I can go visit my drug dealer, the bronze timekeeper. He's my drug dealer. He's my drug dealer. That's what I call him. I gotta get another hit. Because it's one of those things where, like, it just, for me, the way I always have, like, so many mental tabs open, but when I'm dragon racing, I am just there. I'm in the moment. My brain's going, wee, the entire time, and the faster I go, the better. Except for those damn arcane balls that get in the way.
That is usually how I feel on
or
drugs.
Stupid tree branches. But I'm having...
the trees. Everybody knows that's the true boss of this expansion is the fucking
the tree branches. I swear they actively we need to slow them down a little bit on this flight. Can you just stick this branch out a little bit more, please? Thanks.
You mean
Pretty
to
sure
tell
that's what
me
happened.
that like a 2-ton leathery flying death machine gets held up
Break through that
by a
branch.
2-inch birch branch?
Like when you go that fast, you bust through that stuff. You don't just I hit a branch. And
I get it, game mechanics and all that and yada yada. But come on, that breaks immersion. That breaks immersion. They should blast through that thing like a fucking hurricane.
Right.
Oh
yeah.
God. Well, I do love it. And I think that they are going to have a hell of a decision on their hands about what to do with this, because I think overall it's been very positive. And
it's been so positive, and there's so many people talking about how when you go into, other locations now with regular flying, it feels so slow and boring and horrible. So, I mean, do you think that they find a way to let dragon flying expand to the rest of the world? Next expansion. Not this expansion, but next expansion.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, I think they're going to keep it as a Dragon Isle special. And mostly because you're essentially mothballing every other mount, all your other flying mounts.
But what if they can make the way in their code in their system to make it so you can dragonfly or mount fly, whatever you want to call it,
a toggle
with
a toggle,
a toggle, and do it with other mounts?
Yes, I think that they will. If that could be possible, then yes, I think that would be great, where you could decide, this is what I want to do. I don't know if that's possible. I mean, you think about all the different kind of mounts we have and what they look like and how that might work. I don't know.
It would take some work. That's why I'm saying it's like next expansion. Like, it's something they can work on now that they're hearing everyone loves dragon flying. They could be like, okay, let's play around with this, start to slowly over time. Because with the transmog system, for example, they slowly over time started to relax the rules on transmog. And so it'll be like that. Where next expansion, they start to slowly just give us more options in the world outside Dragon Isles for dragon racing and for me to get my drug fix.
That's really what this is about.
It's really about me. I have a problem. Okay, I have a problem. It's. I'm admitting it here. It's fine.
Right. It's all right.
I have a problem.
Listen, everybody has something. You know what? And I've got. Are there rules on Twitch about talking about drug use?
I hope not. I don't think so. I mean, we're not going into specifics.
If I talk about my cocaine habit, am I going to get thrown out of here?
I don't know if that's TOS.
Well, folks, that was the one and only episode
hope
we
you
ever did on
enjoyed it.
Twitch. It's nice to see you. Thanks for coming. Back to the fucking podcast land we go. Anyway, yes, I do think that there will have to be an attempt at least to try to extend the longevity of dragon riding, because it
Oh
is
God,
just
I hope
so
so.
popular.
I'd be so happy.
I mean, imagine getting to do a race around Storm Peaks,
That would be amazing.
right? Screw rating. We'll just become, be like
Grizzly Hills.
professional
Professional
drivers.
dragon. Maybe that could be my next job, is I designed dragon races.
That's it.
or
That's it.
mount races.
People would love that. I mean, just riding
If
around.
Blizzard wants to hire me, I can make that happen.
The easy ones like Elwyn Forest, because it's all flat.
Can you
know?
imagine if they can extend it to like Outlands too? Like Negran with all like the little
Be
floating islands and
badass.
stuff?
Oh, see, Blizzard. I mean, I'm already repping the merch here. I mean, you got to give us a cut here for these great ideas. I'm sure this is the first time any of you have ever heard of these things, but yeah, Barry in here, make your own courses. That'd be kind of neat,
That
Sort
that
of-
could be a whole mobile game.
Screw the Pokemon Go style thing. We'll just
Let me
we'll make our
design
own.
dragon races.
yeah. There's so much
I'd be
much
so
potential
happy.
there.
Yeah, there really is.
But I mean, you never know. You never know what they're gonna do. I trust them at this point. They've continued to earn my trust. So
Yeah.
we'll see how that goes. But yes, it would be great. They can keep dragon riding going as long as possible. Shantyman had a question. Wanted to know what is your favorite lore from the Dragonflight dungeons? I would say for myself, I just want to make sure I get the name right here before I screw this up. Halls of Infusion. I love Halls of Infusion. Anything that has to do with Tierhold and what's going on with Titans and Titan facilities, and especially Titan facilities and Titan keepers and watchers and stuff going sideways. I don't really like tsunami stuff so much. That was kind of whatever. But seeing all of that, the continued focus on how we probably have a facility built on something that we shouldn't. I love it. It's fantastic. What about you?
I'd have to agree. I was going to say Halls and Fusion for the same reasons. I
It is.
am really enjoying getting more in-depth information about the Titans and some more truth about the Titans. And that's definitely happening at Halls of Infusion. So I'm super excited about that. And I want more. I need more. That's such a big facility. There's got to be more there.
I would think so.
And on top of that, like I could talk about Azure Vault for a while because I do love Azure Vault, but if I have to pick one, it would be the story of Halls of Infusion for sure. Because I want to know more about Titans, and I'm so bitter that they dangled, oh, here's the first ones. You're gonna learn more about the first ones. Oh, not really
yeah.
though. Just kidding. And I need more. So the Titans are like adjacent to that. So at least gets me on the path of learning more about the cosmology in general.
That's
from a lore
that's light and
perspective.
void time. That's
Right,
That's the
yeah.
light and void time.
Yeah.
They gotta hold that off. Last question. This is from Nav. Wants to know if both of us are running Mythic Plus and are pushing keys to be able to level up set bonuses, and if so, how are you enjoying the thundering affix? Also, what is your favorite new Dragonflight dungeon? So I think we answered that question, and then as I said before, Navo, I don't push Mythic keys. I don't even. I barely know how to push 3 buttons. That's Barian. I can't be. I'd never get accepted on one of these. I was talking to Rommel about it when we had one of those quests. You got to do 4 mythic dungeons like in the week. And he's like, just run some M0s. I'm like, I won't even get accepted into an M0. Like,
Yes, you will.
I'm not
Stop
even
it.
gonna jump in.
I will run M0s with you. It's
Okay.
fine.
Well, I appreciate it.
Okay.
You all saw that. You all heard that and saw that. So that's.
I will be his pocket healer. I am
Okay.
offering now. It's fine.
I need to. What about yourself? Hey, Copper, thank you, Copper.
There
What
we
about
go.
yourself though? Are you pushing Mythic keys? Are you a Mythic Plus player?
No, but I'm trying to do more because it is really good for loot. I have to be in the right mindset to do Mythic Pluses because for some reason, just the way my brain works as a healer, they stress me out a lot. So I have to be in the right mindset for them. The highest I've done so far is a 10, and it was last week
That's
with
way higher than me.
Grievous.
That's like you're a pro.
Yeah, and that was like it was a 10 for with Grievous. Like for healers, that's a big one. So
Yeah.
like I felt pretty good about that, and I'll probably push a little higher before the season's over. But I think 15 will probably be my max because I again like I have to be with the right people in the right frame of mind and not beat myself up when someone dies. It's a whole thing. So
see, Copper made a comment. She's right. It's super stressful. It's if you have any form of anxiety in your body, Mythic Plus is just. I appreciate that what they're doing is trying to extend
it's
the
great
life,
content.
right?
Yeah,
And people love it. It has become very, very popular over the last couple of expansions, and it has been a way for people to test themselves and push themselves, and that is all fine and dandy. But I know I just got to get through the regular ones and then some heroic ones and try to gear up, which I still need to do now that the holidays are over. And trips to Disneyland are over and everything else I had to get out of the way, and power outages and internet outages. Maybe I can finally get some more playing time in now that the world has stopped conspiring against me. But thank you all for your Discord questions. And if you have not joined the Unshackled Fury Discord, I encourage you to do so. Links to that are in the profile of the Twitter bio, I believe. We were going to go through a survey. I did get a survey from Blizzard, but we are running way long on time here. So we're going to go ahead and skip that for now. And just get to the last couple of items that we have here. And really what this is I appreciate the depth and breadth of the history of this game and all of the lives that it has touched, the legacies that it has left over time, and to the point now where it has reached the halls of Congress. Right? You think World of Warcraft, politics, probably not a good mix. It probably isn't. But as you may or may not be aware of, a few weeks ago, this was relevant when originally I had planned to do this, but I'm still going to do this because, goddammit, this is what I plan to say and talk about, and I have a sound clip I made, so I'm going to play it. There was a vote for the Speaker of the House. If you don't know what that means or don't know what that is, God damn it, pull up the after school special that will teach you all about it. But when they were going through these votes, everybody was called by name, called down. You had to yell out your vote, who you're voting for. The whole thing was a whole thing, and that's for a different show. I'll let Jen talk about that somewhere in the comments. But when one of the members came down, had to say a name, and this is how this went down.
McCarthy. Huffman. Jeffries.
That's right. That is a member of Congress yelling out the name Hakeem Jeffries in the fashion of Leroy Jenkins.
Absolutely. It's fantastic.
And it was confirmed. This is not just our imagination. This was, in fact, a member of Congress mimicking the legendary Leroy Jenkins cry while they were throwing out these votes. And somebody had tagged him on Twitter and said, hey, is this on purpose? He said, yes, and I'm going to do this every single time I have to go through and do this vote. This is one of our representatives up here in the west corner of California. So, the other proud California out there. The last bit that I did want to touch on is that a few weeks ago, Earl Bowen passed away on January 5th. And if you don't know who Earl Bowen is, he was a pretty famous actor. For me personally, he was a member of the cast of one of my favorite movies of all time, Terminator 2. He played Dr. Silberman. And when I was a kid growing up, for whatever reason in my household, this was like one of the few movies that we had on VHS, and I actually was allowed to watch this as a kid. But when I would stay home sick, this was the movie that I would watch. And so I still know every line by heart. And so when I first started playing Warcraft and his voice came on for the voiceover, when you first create a character and you fly in and you are a member of the whatever, that's him. That's Earl Bowen. It turns out that not just through his acting career, he's also a pretty prolific voice artist as well. And unfortunately, we lost him and back on January the 5th. And I just wanted to say something on this show because he was always a big part of my life growing up, and obviously a big part of Warcraft. He was also King Tyrannus. If you played through Warcraft, I hope you know who that is. Arthas' father. You see him in Icecrown Citadel. He's the one that tells us there must always be a Lich King. That's the guy. Now, there are other roles that he's played in Warcraft, but that's probably the one where he is the most famous. But just wanted to say, send out my condolences to his family. I doubt any of them are ever going to see this or watch this. But he was a great actor, and so happy to have him as part of our legacy here at World of Warcraft. I just wanted to throw out my quick shout out. So I think we've done enough damage for one live episode anyway.
Fantastic damage.
We did as much as we could. I want to thank my guest today, the one and only Allie. And for those folks that don't already know, where can the good people find you out on the interwebs?
Well, you can hear me talk about lore through dungeons and that perspective on Dungeon Fables. You can hear me with Jen, who's in chat, on Live Laugh Lore, where we talk about more current lore stuff. And occasionally chilling on Twitch at twitch.tv/Aleandros. But really, if you just go to Aleandros K on Twitter, you're going to find all that stuff. And that's the easiest way.
All right. Well, listen, I appreciate you coming on here and holding my hand for this first live edition.
You're
of the
too
show.
hard on yourself. You did fantastic. Your setup is fancier than mine.
It's not over yet. It's not over yet. I still got to do an outro here, and God only knows what's going to happen with that. I'm going to fuck this up. So, before I roll out, not only do I want to thank you, I want to thank everybody in the chat room. Thank you to all you people who showed up. It looks like we got
That chat was fantastic.
10, 12 people. Very, very active tonight. I really appreciate it. Lots of great comments here, and I'm sorry that I could not address all of them, but we will do this again. I will try to have guests on here, and who knows? Now that we're getting some interview slots on this little program, maybe we can get a live interview with one of these people that gets paid to work on this damn game. Who knows? Anything could be possible. But listen, I want to thank all of you for showing up here tonight. So thank you for tuning in. And remember, you can always follow me and the show on Twitter at Berzerker Rage and Unshackled_Fury, as well as here on Twitch at Unshackled Fury, and myself at Real Berzerker. I never do anything on it, but it does exist. You can also join our Discord, like I said, links for which are in the profile of the show on Twitter and our bonus roll page. Feel free to contact the show with your questions, comments, or otherwise through any of those resources or on shackledfury.com, because that does exist. And you can find this show wherever you get your podcasts. I'm gonna try to do this right here. We're gonna fade this out and we're gonna bring this in. So once again, thank you for listening. Remember to keep your swords wet and your banners high, and we'll see you next time. Farewell.